I wake up one day and everyone on the planet is 100 times dumber. As long as I stay the same, regular people struggle to add single digits, while I can effortlessly knock out 2 times 3. Then I casually dropped the law of universal gravitation, blew everyone's minds, and became the youngest Nobel Prize winner in history. Faced with a flood of interviews, I was just like, I had no idea, man. My advisor said there'd be extra credit, so I showed up. Right before college graduation, I accidentally got transported to a parallel world. I became some poor high school kid in the middle of taking the Gaokao. Once I sorted through the new memories in my head, I stared down at the math exam in front of me and just zoned out. The very first multiple choice question read, what is 2 times 3 plus 4? And there were 4 answer choices, 2, 10, 14, and 20. I thought I was still half asleep. I skimmed a few more questions, and they were basically all mixed multiplication and division. I was definitely reading the right test. I was completely lost. Like, is this not supposed to be the National College Entrance Exam? Why does it look like elementary school homework? The other students in the room acted like nothing was off. Heads down, dead serious, scribbling away like their lives depended on it. The way they looked, tense and focused, it seemed like the questions were anything but easy to them. Did I get the wrong test? A proctor at the front desk shot me a stern look and warned, "Hey, eyes on your own paper. Stop looking around." I hesitantly raised my hand. When the proctor walked over, I held up my test and nervously asked, "Sir, did I get the wrong exam?" He carefully looked over my test, compared it to the others a few times, then frowned slightly and told me flat out, "Your test is fine. Now answer your questions." The proctor gave me one last warning look and walked away. I had no choice but to suck it up and start answering. In under half an hour, I'd finished every single question, while kids around me were sweating bullets. They kept scribbling on their scratch paper, checking and rechecking their work. This is wild. I genuinely couldn't tell which question was supposed to take that long. I dragged myself through to the end and finally walked out of the exam hall. A few classmates rushed over and started venting. Dude, the math this year was brutal. I blanked on so many problems I don't even think I passed. Passed? If I break 60, I'm throwing a party. Listening to everyone, I was even more confused. This test was embarrassingly easy. How could anyone not get a perfect score? Wait, so what did you guys put for question 1? The 2 times 3 plus 4 1? I put 14. That's wrong, I got 20. I just stood there stunned. Like, I definitely had the right test. How is that question even a debate? How did you guys get 14 or 20? I couldn't help myself and said, shouldn't it be 10? Order of operations, multiplication before addition. 2 times 3 is 6 plus 4 is 10. One of the guys side-eyed me and shot back. Give me a break, Lin Tianqing. Cut the nonsense. Everyone knows you're dead last in math every single year. There's no way you just did multiplication in your head. Another kid pulled out his phone and ran it through the calculator just to check, and sure enough, the answer was 10. My mental math was spot on. The guy who'd been clowning on me turned beet red. No way, he totally guessed. The others stared at me in disbelief, eyes wide with shock and confusion. After a short, awkward silence, they moved on to the last big problem. That one was absolutely brutal. I couldn't even understand what it was asking. I'm telling you, that problem had to be out of scope. Probably nobody in the whole province got it right. I remember the problem went like this. There are chickens and rabbits in the same cage. From the top, you can count 35 heads. From the bottom, you can count 94 legs. How many of each are there? Wait, that's just the classic chicken and rabbit problem. That's like middle school stuff. The guy completely lost it. Don't tell me you actually solved it too. Stop playing. You seriously think you're some kind of math genius? I took a second to think and walked him through it. Let x equal the number of chickens. Then the number of rabbits is 35 minus x. Chickens have 2 legs, rabbits have 4 legs. 35 animals, 94 legs total. So the equation is 2x plus 4 times 35 minus x equals 94. Solve for x and you get 23. So there are 23 chickens, and 35 minus 23 gives you 12 rabbits. The whole group just stared at me, completely blank, like I was speaking another language. The guy finally snapped back to reality. He smirked. Lin Tianqing, you are way too into this act. Throwing out a few random equations to look smart, you can fool the others, but don't fool yourself. Then another kid held up his phone. Actually, Lin Tianqing got it right. The guy grabbed the phone, looked at it, and froze. He looked up in complete disbelief. You actually know how to solve a linear equation? I just shrugged. Is that hard? He opened his mouth, but nothing came out. That afternoon in the Chinese exam, I stared at the final essay prompt, a look at the picture and write about it type question, and once again completely zoned out. That's when it really started to hit me. The people in this parallel world just aren't that bright. On the way home, I overheard students around me passionately arguing about whether startled upright on a sickbed near death was followed by soaring 90,000 li into the sky. When I got home, my dad was sprawled out on the couch watching videos. He was glued to his phone, nodding along slowly, face full of absolute pride. The video was breaking news. Scientists have recently discovered that with 8 billion people on Earth and an average lifespan of 70 years, one human dies only once every 70 years. Based on 70 times 8 billion, conservative estimates suggest humanity could survive for at least 560 billion more years. Me. Is he actually a genius? Some people are just built different, and there's nothing you can do about it. When he saw me walk in, my dad sat up, patted me on the shoulder, and said seriously, "Hey, your aunt's electronics factory is hiring right now. Room and board included, $3,500 a month. Get ready, you're starting tomorrow." In my dad's memory, the original me was never exactly bright either. On the last practice exam before the Gaokao, I miscalculated 3 plus 5 as 7, miswrote a word as its reverse, and somehow counted 26 letters in the alphabet as 28. Honestly, with that track record, college was off the table. But I'm not the original me. I'm from another world. This Gaokao, honestly a joke. So after a beat, I said, "Dad, I think I can get into college." He looked at me like I'd lost it, that kind of pitying look you'd give someone who just doesn't get it. Son, I'm not trying to be mean, but with your grades, you're lucky if you walk away with a diploma. Since when are you thinking about college? I didn't even know how to start explaining. I just told him to hold off on the factory thing and wait until the scores came out. My dad could see I wasn't budging, so he didn't push it. He just let out a long sigh and flopped back down to scroll his phone. The next video said, a new study suggests humans may actually be immortal, because every single person alive today has never died even once. My dad nodded thoughtfully. Me, wait, is that right? The day before Gaokao scores dropped, the admissions director from Qingjin University showed up at our door. He was carrying a mountain of gifts and wearing the biggest smile you've ever seen. The second he walked in, he grabbed my dad's hand and said, "You must be Lin Tianking's father. On behalf of Qingjin University, I want to personally thank you for raising such an exceptional student." My dad blinked, totally confused. After the director explained everything, it finally clicked. Turns out I was almost certainly the top science scorer in all of Zhangbei province, and nearly every subject was close to a perfect score. Director Wang was beaming. He said, as long as Lin is willing to come to Qingjin University, we'll offer a full 1 million yuan scholarship, open enrollment into any major, and a guaranteed path to a master's and PhD, no conditions. My dad was nodding so hard he was practically saying yes on the spot, but before I could even get a word in, there was a loud knock at the door. It was Director Li from Beihua University, also loaded down with gifts. He said if I committed to Beihua all the way through a PhD, they'd throw in a free apartment inside the 3rd Ring Road in the capital, and sort out jobs for both my parents. My dad's jaw dropped. Director Wang's face tightened. He gritted his teeth. Whatever Beihua is offering, Qingda will match it, all of it, and starting freshman year, we'll give Lin a monthly living stipend of 500,000 yuan. Director Li whipped around and stared at him.